If today were the last day you had time, would you live differently? Pause for 1 second. Don't skip. Just 1 second. That's all it takes. We always say, tomorrow. But no one tells you this. Tomorrow is the first thing time takes away. People knew this thousands of years ago. Stoic philosophers didn't talk about motivation. They talked about uncomfortable truths, the kind you only see when it's already too late. In this video, I'm not going to read quotes and let you nod along. We're going to break them down, piece by piece, by meaning, about time, loss, delay, regret, and most importantly, what you must do with it today. No lofty philosophy, no empty cliches, just ancient words that most people only understand when there's nothing left to understand. Stay until the end, because one of today's exercises might change the way you see your life, starting tonight. Today's Stoic journey is broken into small segments, like rough stretches of road, each carrying a different weight, a different meaning. These uneven paths leave behind footprints, real ones, of Stoic philosophy. And who knows, one of today's Stoic moments might fit exactly what you're going through right now. So don't leave early. Walk a little further with me. Just try. The Stoics didn't see time as calendars, clocks, or deadlines. They saw time as the one thing you're losing, even when you're standing still. And this is where we begin. Time is a river. You cannot touch the same water twice. You've heard this before, but if you just nodded and moved on, you miss the entire point. The Stoics didn't use the image of a river because it sounded poetic. They used it to smash the most dangerous illusion we live with, that this moment can be repeated. You think you can. Talk to that person later. Start again when you're less busy. Fix things when life settles down. But Marcus Aurelius would tell you this: the water has already passed. The moment you're living, the version of you that exists right now, the version of the person in front of you, will never appear again in the same way. The Stoics weren't pessimists, they were awake. And being awake means this: if you're not present right now, you're not present anywhere. If you're watching this video while your mind is somewhere else, you just lost something money can't buy. The clock moves forward even when your heart hesitates. This is what the Stoics would call brutal honesty. You hesitate. You're afraid. You don't feel ready. Time doesn't care. You may not be ready to leave, not ready to begin, not ready to face what you know you should. But the clock doesn't stop to wait for you to feel brave. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Not because you lack time, but because you stand still while time keeps moving." Stoicism teaches this. You don't need 100% certainty to act. You just need to stop letting hesitation drive your life. Time doesn't kill you with one blow. It kills you with 1,000 quiet, "I'll do it later." Time listens to no excuses. This line is a soft slap, but a deep one. Time doesn't care if you're tired, busy, hurt, carrying a difficult past. Not because it's cruel, but because time has no emotions. And this is what the Stoics want you to understand. You're allowed to feel pain, but you're not allowed to hand the steering wheel to it. Your life isn't shaped by what happens to you, but by how you respond as time keeps moving forward. If today you don't do what matters because you have a good reason, then tomorrow you'll just have another one. Time doesn't ask why. It only asks, did you act or not? You may outrun others, but never outrun time. Society teaches comparison. The Stoics teach stillness. You don't lose because others are faster. You lose because you forget that the real race isn't against anyone else. Time doesn't compete, it ends. You can succeed late, start slow, move at your own pace. But if you live as if you're immortal, you've already lost before understanding the rules. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Not to scare himself, but to live with weight. These 4 quotes say one thing: time isn't something you have, time is something you're spending every second. You don't manage time. You're trading pieces of your life for whatever you choose to do in this moment. Only this moment, only this breath. And yes, these Stoic words sound wise, moral, human. But just hearing them and nodding along won't make them sink in. 5 or 10 minutes from now, they'll slip right out of your head. So let's move into something concrete, something practical, something that can actually change you. Exercise 1. 1 moment audit, 3 minutes a day. Tonight, before sleeping, ask yourself, which moment today was I truly present? Which moment was I only physically there? No judgment, just notice. Exercise 2. No excuse hour. Choose 1 hour each day. During that hour, no excuses, no delay, no negotiation. Do the single most important task, regardless of how you feel. The Stoics didn't teach you to feel good, they taught you to act right, even when you feel bad. Exercise 3. Memento Mori, modern version. Every morning, say this to yourself. I don't know how many days I have left, so today must matter. Not to panic, just to wake up. And if you think understanding time is enough, the next group will be more uncomfortable, because now we talk about what time always carries with it, loss, and what never comes back. If part 1 tells you what time is, part 2 tells you something harder to swallow. Time doesn't just pass, it takes things with it, and it doesn't return them. The Stoics weren't afraid of loss, because they believed only by facing the irreversible can you live in the right direction. Time never turns back. Simple. Dangerously simple. Because most people hear it, but don't live by it. You act as if you can fix things later, apologize someday, love properly next time. The Stoics called this the illusion of those who live like they're immortal. Not every mistake gets a second chance. Not every person is still there when you're finally ready. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to live." Because when you believe time can be reversed, you treat the present carelessly. There is no better version of this moment waiting behind you. Every moment ignored becomes a memory you wish you could return to. This is what the Stoics would call pain discovered too late. You don't feel pain when you ignore the moment, you feel it when it turns into memory. You don't remember the days you worked hard, the tasks you completed on time. You remember the time you weren't there, the moment you were distracted, the thing you thought didn't matter. Stoicism doesn't blame you, it asks you to study this mechanism. Regret doesn't come from big failures, it comes from small moments you didn't think were important. You don't lose the past in one day, you lose it one ignored moment at a time. The past is fixed, the future uncertain, but time in your hands is slipping. This is the core axis of Stoic philosophy. The past, fixed, the future, uncertain, the present, slipping away right now. So what do the Stoics want you to stop doing? Beating yourself up over the past, anxiously worrying about the future, because neither is under your control. Epictetus said it clearly. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. The present, action in this moment, is the only thing left before it becomes the past. If you keep looking backward with regret and forward with anxiety, you'll miss the only point where you can actually intervene. You're not trapped in life. You're letting the present pass by untouched. Time is the only wealth that cannot be stored. Money you can earn again. Reputation can be rebuilt. Relationships sometimes repaired. But time? No savings account, no refunds, no backups. And here's the paradox the Stoics point out. The people who waste time the most are usually the ones who think they have plenty of it. Seneca wrote in On the Shortness of Life. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but when it comes to squandering time, they are the most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. You protect your money, but you let days slip by unconsciously. Attention gets shredded. Life gets drained by what doesn't matter. You're not poor in time. You're spending it on the wrong things. These 4 quotes say one painful truth. Loss isn't something that's about to happen. Loss is already happening, quietly, every day. You don't need tragedy to lose what matters. You only need inattention. Stoicism doesn't teach you to cling to the past. It teaches you not to turn the present into something you'll mourn. Exercise 1. Negative visualization, everyday version. Each day, choose one thing you take for granted. A person, an ability, a familiar routine. Ask silently, if this disappeared tomorrow, how would I act today? Then act as if the answer were real. Exercise 2. 1 moment of presence. Each day, choose one moment. Eating, talking, walking. No multitasking, no phone, no distraction. Just don't miss it. That's how you resist loss, not through control, but through presence. Exercise 3. Time spending check. At the end of the day, write down 3 things you did, 1 thing that wasn't worth the time it took. No self-blame, just spend smarter tomorrow. And if you think loss is the hardest part, you haven't met the next group yet, because now we're about to talk about what makes people hand their time directly to regret: procrastination. If part 2 was about what you lose, part 3 says something even more uncomfortable. Most loss in life isn't fate, it's delay. Procrastination means you don't do it now. Sometimes you tell yourself, just leave it for now, I'll do it later. But how many times do you actually do it? Most of the time, you just drop it. The Stoics didn't see procrastination as a bad habit, they saw it as a daily moral mistake, repeated on purpose. What you postpone today, time will quietly erase tomorrow. This isn't a threat, it's how reality works. You think procrastination means pushing it back, setting it aside, not the right time yet. But time translates procrastination differently. Not doing it. There's no vault that stores opportunity for you. No save for later label for the moments that matter. The Stoics looked straight at this and said, what you don't do today gets erased. No notification. Time doesn't steal your chances. You hand them over, one delay at a time. You never find time, you only realize too late that you wasted it. This destroys the familiar line, when I have time, I'll do it. Seneca would laugh, and he'd say, no one has free time. Time isn't found, time is decided. You don't lack time, you're choosing something else, usually comfort, avoidance, temporary safety. And the bitter part? You only realize you wasted time when there's nothing left to redo. You don't hear the sound of time being wasted, you only hear the silence of the opportunity that died. The greatest illusion is believing you have more time. This is the most dangerous lie people tell themselves. Not, I'm not good enough, I'm afraid to fail, but it's not urgent yet. Marcus Aurelius would call this procrastination disguised as reason. You don't say, I won't do it, you say, later. But later isn't a day on the calendar. Later is a hole where motivation slowly dies, courage backs away, life passes in a state of waiting. No one destroys your potential faster than the belief that you have plenty of time. You borrow time from the future, but pay with your past. This is what the Stoics would call a contract everyone signs, but never reads. Every time you delay, you're borrowing comfort in the present by trading away future memories. You don't pay the price right now, you pay later. When you look back, you're more mature, you understand more clearly, and then you can't go back and fix it. Epictetus would say it plainly, you chose temporary comfort. Don't be surprised when the future collects. You don't live in the present by procrastinating, you're selling the future cheap to buy comfort today. These 4 quotes point to one cold truth. Procrastination doesn't make you fail immediately. It turns you into the person who never starts. The Stoics don't ask, do you feel motivated? Do you feel ready? They ask one thing. The right thing needs to be done. Have you done it? Exercise 1. Do it badly. Pick one thing you've been delaying the longest. Do it today, but it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to look good. It just needs to start. The Stoics believed clumsy action is always better than perfect intention. Exercise 2. No tomorrow rule. For the next 24 hours, you're not allowed to say tomorrow. If you won't do it today, write down the real reason. You'll be shocked how many reasons are just avoidance in polite language. Exercise 3. Future memory test. Ask yourself, 5 years from now, will I regret acting today? If the answer is no, do it now. And if you think procrastination is the final enemy, not yet. Because the next group isn't about what you haven't done, it's about what's left when everything is already too late. Regret. Regret doesn't show up when you're wrong. Regret shows up when you finally understand, but there's no time left to fix it. The Stoics didn't use regret to punish themselves. They used it like a mirror from the future, held right in front of the present. Ancient minds knew, time lost is life lost. This isn't a metaphor, it's the math of existence. Time isn't something you own. Time is your life, broken into days. When you say, I lost a few years, what you're really saying is, I lost a piece of my life. The Stoics don't let you hide behind, at least I'm still alive. Because to them, living without presence is dying in pieces. It's not death that scares people. It's realizing they lived wrong for too long. You notice time only when it starts taking what you love. This is how regret begins, not with a huge tragedy, but with small absences that slowly become normal. You don't notice time when everything is still there, people are still beside you, your body is still strong. You only start noticing when someone leaves, an ability disappears, a door no longer opens again. The Stoics called this the cost of disrespecting the present. You don't lose what you love in one day. You lose it across thousands of days. You assumed it would always be there. Those who respect time rule their lives. Those who ignore it are ruled by regret. This is the clearest Stoic line. No grey area, no comforting excuses. Either you run your life or regret runs you. Regret doesn't appear because you failed. It appears because you knew what was right and didn't do it. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And not mastering your time is voluntarily handing control to a more painful future. Regret doesn't imprison you. You walk into it every day through small choices. Time teaches, but only after it has taken everything. This is the saddest line, and the truest one. Time is the perfect teacher, but tuition is what you can no longer keep. You only understand the value of health when it's gone, the value of someone close when they leave, the value of the present when it becomes the past. The Stoics don't tell you to hate time. They ask, why wait until you've lost everything to finally understand? A lesson that comes late doesn't make you wiser, it just makes you hurt more. These 4 quotes shine one truth. Regret isn't punishment, it's the natural result of living asleep. The Stoics don't want you to live obsessed, they want you to use other people's regret so you don't have to pay with your own. Exercise 1. Future regret letter. Write a short paragraph. If I look back on today in 10 years, what will I regret most if I don't change? Read it again. Then choose one small action today to break that future. Exercise 2. Reverse priority test. Ask, if I only had 1 year, 1 month, 1 week, what would I still do? What would I drop immediately? Rebuild your current life around those answers. Exercise 3. Silent moment. Every day, take 2 minutes of total silence. Don't think about the past, the future. Just feel, I'm here. That's how the Stoics cut off regret at the root. And if you think this is the ending, not yet. The final group isn't about pain, it's about ancient wisdom, the kind that gives you a chance to live differently, even after you've understood everything above. If you made it this far, one thing is certain, you're not unconscious anymore. And here's what the Stoics believe deeply: awareness doesn't change your life, action does. This final group isn't here to scare you, it's here to answer the most important question. So, how do you live right when time waits for no one? Ancient wisdom says, time reveals the truth, but never waits for you to accept it. Truth always shows up, whether you're ready or not. You can avoid it, rationalize it, reassure yourself, but time will strip away every story you tell yourself. The Stoics don't tell you to chase truth, they tell you to stay one step ahead of it. Live so that when truth appears, you don't have to feel ashamed, you don't have to explain, you don't have to regret not living right. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Truth is coming. The question is, are you on its side, or will it crush you? Ancient sages lived slowly, not because they had time, but because they valued it. The Stoics didn't live slowly because they were free. They lived slowly because they weren't panicking. They didn't let the world drag them, comparison push them, fear of missing out drive decisions. To live slowly, Stoic style, means do less, but do it right, and do it on purpose. You don't need more time, you need less distraction. Rushing is a symptom of someone who doesn't know where they're going. Ancients warned, time punishes softly, then destroys completely. This one is for people who think, it's fine, just a little. Time doesn't punish you instantly. It lets you get used to being wrong, used to delaying, used to ignoring, used to drifting away from your values. Then one day you look back and you don't recognize yourself. The Stoics don't threaten you with the end of the world. They show you the curve of silent collapse. Life doesn't break all at once. It drifts off course, little by little. Ancient wisdom whispers, live now because time never turns back. This isn't a call to live fast. The Stoics hated impulsiveness. Live now in Stoicism means be present, choose consciously, live aligned with your values. Don't run from the present, don't surrender the future. Don't mourn the past. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Live now, not with promises, but with what you do when no one's watching. These 4 quotes don't teach you more knowledge. They demand you become a different person. Not more perfect, not more impressive, just more awake. The Stoics didn't promise happiness. They promised calm, the kind that comes from living right. Exercise 1. Daily alignment check. Every night, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What did I spend my time on today? 2. Did that reflect the values I claim to believe in? 3. If I repeated this day 100 times, would I accept that life? Exercise 2. Stoic essentialism. For the next 7 days, cut one unnecessary thing. Say no to one unimportant commitment. Save that time for one essential thing. Don't add, just remove. Exercise 3. Live as if seen. Before any important action, ask, if Marcus Aurelius were standing here, would I still do this? Not for judgment, just for correction. You don't need more motivation. You need a way of living you won't regret when time finally speaks. If this video made you pause even once today, then ancient wisdom did its job. If you've made it this far, you probably felt something. Not every video needs to entertain. Some videos just need to stay in your head longer than one night. Stoicism doesn't promise life will be easier. It promises something fairer. You won't live unconsciously anymore. You don't need to remember every quote today. Just remember one moment when you realized, am I spending time or am I living? If these thoughts helped you, if you want reminders more often when life starts pulling you too fast, then Stoic Quotes will always be here. No noise, no pressure, just a place to come back to whenever you need to live slower and live right. We don't chase time. We learn how to stand firm as it passes. See you in the next video.